President Barack Obama wants as many Americans disarmed before the outbreak of civil war here in the United States of America. It is exactly why he is using tragic events like Sandy Hook as a scapegoat and using children as his shield to warrant the confiscation of weapons here in the United States, weapons of self-defense, and using people like Dianne Feinstein to help orchestrate this tyranny on regular Joe, John, and Jane American patriot who is illegally possessing firearms and weapons of self-defense and has been since the founding of this great country. In fact, the disarmament of Americans, of the little guy, is kind of like getting rid of rice in China. It's fundamental to our existence here in the United States. In fact, it's fundamental to the founding of this great country. But you see, the real reason President Barack Obama is disarming you is because they know war is about to erupt on our streets, in our cities, in our town, and at our churches. This is an all-out war, not just on the Second Amendment, but on Americans in general. Now imagine if they treated or began to start treating the First Amendment or the Fourth Amendment like they're currently treating the Second Amendment today, completely bypassing the U.S. Constitution and doing whatever they damn well please. Again, scapegoating these events, scapegoating the bad apples of the group, the 1 in a million crazy, lunatic Adam Lanza types on psychotropic medications that snap and go on killing rampages, using that as an excuse, while at the same time disarming the American people, and millions of Americans arm up in record numbers. The President himself, through the Department of Homeland Security and these other bodies, is arming themselves up in record numbers, buying hollow point round ammunition, 6 bullets for every American, and armored tanks, as we have talked about in recent reports, in addition to recruiting Army personnel to manage the internment camps that they have already set up, much like what we've seen and much like what America experienced during the presidency of Franklin Delano Roosevelt when he implemented an executive order to round up all the dirty Japanese during the outbreak of World War II. Law-abiding, innocent citizens rounded up like dogs into internment camps here in the western United States. This is what is happening in America today. This is the agenda. This is and has been a smokescreen for the outbreak and the intended outbreak of war. You see, the President of the United States will not let the country divide because he wants the country and he wants total power and total control over the people. This is no longer a republic. It is no longer a democratically elected government, but it is a dictatorial pursuit by one man. One man, by the way, we cannot even verify his actual birth residency, his birth certificate, among countless other offenses that have been really yet to be fully investigated by the American people or the people that supposedly represent us in government today. Now, we have a few people like Rand Paul actually saying something, saying that it's wrong and anti-constitutional to murder innocent Americans here on American soil using armed drones. But he is one of the few. And he is also still operating within the broken, corrupt criminal paradigm in the first place. Anyone that actually has the idea that they can change things working within the current system is smoking a crack pipe. The next few months, in my opinion, will prove to be some of the most tyrannical in American history, as President Barack Obama begins the process of rounding up innocent Americans into internment camps and continues the armament of his domestic terrorist organizations, groups like the DHS, while at the same time disarming the American people in record numbers. This is tyranny unlike anything we have seen since the rise of Germany and the rise of Hitler before the outbreak of World War II. And it is exactly where it is leading to today. Not just war overseas in the Middle East, places like Iraq and Afghanistan, but war here at home, on our streets, in our cities, in our towns, and at our churches. Because this president wants total and absolute power over you, over this country, over America, and over the Constitution in general. I'm Christopher Green. You've been watching Green Wave TV, alternative media television, and I just deliver the Daily Wave. Hard-hitting and in your face.